Hey guys, it's Kimber Schaefer here with Rage in the Cage OKC News. We are hanging out at Western Nights as we talk all things Rage in the Cage 67, the big event happening on August 10th. That's on a Saturday at the Oklahoma City Farmers Public Market. And dude, it is so glad to have you back. This is Brandon Wright, everyone. He is a pro MMA fighter. And I mean, that is like kind of awkward for me to say. I interviewed you obviously on your debut fight. We had several interviews in your amateur career as you fought for Rage in the Cage several times back then. And I mean, I remember you got pretty early on in your career. You really, people really just took to you. And early in your career, you got a title fight. Because I remember just seeing you thinking, oh my gosh, you just started this a few months ago. And like you mentioned, when you first started, that first time I interviewed you, you weren't in an MMA gym. You were a wrestler, you know, like you described, a one-dimensional fighter. And here you are now, a pro boxer, you know, just won your last two boxing fights. And so you've come so far. I'm so excited to talk to you today. And so I've kind of given a little bit about your, you know, that's been 3 years since you started. You said 2016?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's walk our fans through those 3 years, where you feel like that you've come as a fighter.
Man, 3 years since I first started. It's definitely been a journey. Like I said, I've had my ups and downs. I mentioned I won a title. I've lost the title fight as an amateur, and I turned pro. Went to the big show on TV. My first one, I lost that one. So it's like you said, 3 years. It's been tough. It's been up and down. My last one was for XFN. Fought a two-time All-American college wrestler from AKA. And that really, I took some time off after that loss because, you know, I was just, there were some things that I needed to get right with myself, and then just being on that type of stage and feeling somebody at his level was something that I took, instead of the loss, like I said, I turned it into a lesson and make sure that I learned from it. And that's what I've tried to do with my whole career. You know, I've got a disqualification on my record, which, I mean, it happens. But I feel like I was winning the fight. I was going to win the fight. You know, it happens. And then, like I said, I've been winning a fight and been caught in a choke before. You know, it happens. But, you know, here I am, and you know, you can't break me. So we're going to find out August 10th.
Well, and, you know, now you say you lived in Chickasha, that's where you're from, that's where you wrestled in high school. You live down here at Oklahoma City area, and you're able to train multiple times a day. So how do you feel like that's really propelled you in your fighting career?
I definitely think that training, staying consistent with training is good, but I think a lot of people underestimate like the mental aspect of it, because a lot of it comes from like fighting intelligence and learning, you know, seeing how your opponent moves and seeing the things that they do, and being able to outmaneuver them mentally as well as physically.
I hear ya. I mean, I talk a lot about that with debut fighters, about the mental aspect and are they prepared for that? You know, because I don't always ask what's your training. I'm asking, has your coach been working with you on the adrenaline dump and the mind part? So I think that's important as a pro. Do you feel like you've kind of perfected that to a point now?
I mean, honestly, you're not going to perfect that. You just learn to, I guess, handle it better depending on, like I said, the moments I've had the TV on me. You know, it's bothered me, but, you know, I've tried to learn from it the best I can, and that's what I'm coming back just to show the people that, you know, I'm improved, and I've really, I'm not the same fighter I used to be. I've worked on my technique. I've got my jiu-jitsu purple belt. I've took to boxing to work on my striking, my wrestling. I'm pretty well-rounded now, I feel like, so hopefully we'll find out August 10th.
You know, and something else that you know, because you've been around for about 3 years now, so you've probably seen this a lot as well. When I started for Rage in the Cage, there wasn't really such a thing as in MMA, a local media team. We didn't have, 6 years ago, you didn't have a camera crew at events. You didn't have all the footage that we now have on YouTube, not just Rage in the Cage, but there's other promotions that I'm assuming they have a YouTube channel. I haven't checked, and they put some of their fights out there as well. And so do you take the time to review footage of your opponents, or because some people, especially that are working on the mind thing, they feel like that if they spend too much time reviewing footage, that just gets in their mind, and they don't, they're not able to really do their game plan that way. So, or does that matter to you?
I think it probably varies from person, because obviously it's good to look at film, but you also can't take from what you see on YouTube from somebody 2 years ago and expect them to do the same thing maybe that they did 2 years ago that they're going to do in this fight. But you can kind of tell how, like, their style, what they're going to do, how they kind of take punches, how they're going to roll with punches, and if they're aggressive, if they're a counter puncher, just kind of, but yeah, I think everybody improves, so I think that's kind of like something that, some people do well with not reviewing anything at all, and then some people, that's what they do. But I think most smart fighters, they get together with their coaches and they discuss, game plans and stuff like that. So, I do it personally because, I like to, I like to tell me, like I said, mentally, I like to prepare myself to know what I'm getting into and know what's going to be expected when I'm fighting.
Nice. And something else about you is, 3 years ago, like you said, you had a great wrestling career and background, but jiu-jitsu and boxing was new to you. Now you're coaching. So would you have thought 3 years ago, during our first interview, that you would now be coaching young people into an MMA career?
Being an athlete your whole life, you kind of always secretly like to give back to the community and kids and stuff. So yeah, I really enjoy coaching. Kids are frustrated. I was a frustrated kid, so it's frustrating coaching, but it's also, it's definitely awesome, and it's got its rewards for sure, seeing the kids succeed and do well, and also help them grow into, find their young men and women.
Has anybody that you've coached so far, have they taken the step to a cage fight yet?
Some of the kids that we have at our gym, they're savages. They're rolling people up, and then we got some kids that are kind of older, but I think you have to be like 18 to fight in Oklahoma. Yes. So I think you just wait until he's 18. But there's kids that have been training since they were 15, just waiting for their chance.
Well, awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it because, like I said, I love seeing them ground up debut fighters and just see where you guys come today. And it's really hard to believe that it's been 3 years since that debut fight. Any other last words? Anything about this particular fight with Chris Vereen? You're headlining Rage in the Cage. It's not your first time headlining an event.
Yeah, I respect Chris. We were kind of buddies before this, and so hopefully we can be buddies after. But just like I know he is, he's going to come and try to attack me, and I'm going to attack him, and hopefully the fans have a good show. And also, I'd like to give a sponsor some spotlight of Kissick Beard, CTM Chickasha Tool and Maintenance, Cypress Engine Accessories, and Barnell Power. I appreciate you guys for allowing me to do what I do, and like I said, we keep on rocking, and hopefully we can keep continuing climbing the ladder.
And I have to say, those Chickasha fans, man, they come out in droves. It's, from Jeremy Spoon to, Dee Birchfield, who fought for Rage in the Cage, Taylor, Milk, Sanchez. Those fans come out for you Chickasha boys.
Yeah, man. They got their favorites, but obviously, we're doing something well for Chickasha. Got to represent for the hometown and the home team. So, all of us will help each other any way we can, fans and ticket-wise. So hopefully we can pack the house August 10th.
Sounds good. We're looking forward to you Chickasha fans coming on out for Rage in the Cage 67. It's going down Saturday, August 10th at the Oklahoma City Farmers Public Market. Of course, you guys are going to want to get your tickets from Brandon Wright. If you're someone else from another town watching this and you've got another favorite fighter, you can do that as well. And you can get them, of course, on stubware.com, and we hope to see you then.